Welcome to the Coach Blueprint Show. I'm excited today because we focused on really growing and building your business. You know, one of the biggest things that's going to allow us to take our businesses to the next level is not trying to figure out everything by yourself. It's very easy to want to build this business and say, hey, listen, I want to help people. I want to change the world. I want to coach. I want to speak, but not really have the blueprint. And one of the biggest things that happened in my life is I started getting coaching. So that allowed me the ability to learn from somebody else who has already been there, right? Get the knowledge and expertise. Life is too short. I don't want to be, I don't like to waste time. I know a lot of people that rock with me, follow me. I don't like to waste time either. You know, we got families, we want to travel, a lot of things to do in this world, and you want to be able to give back and help, but you don't want to have to spend so much time trying to figure it out and do it that you never really get around to making the type of impact or the income that you want to make. So that is why we do the Blueprint Show, is to really help you be a fly on the wall to take your coaching business to the next level. And today we have another amazing guest that we're going to be coaching, and it is going to be the one, the only Ariel. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Woo!
Hey,
How you feeling today, Queen?
hey, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great.
All
Thanks for
right,
having me.
all right. Listen, thanks for being here. You know, so as we get into this, just so folks have a little bit of background on you, just let them know where you from, who do you help, and what are you helping your ideal client achieve. So let's kind of start there, and then we'll jump into the questions.
Hey, so I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Yes, yes, yes. I know, don't all speak at once. I know, I'm just I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am a life coach that specializes. So I help the age group of 15 to 40-year-olds. So I help them become more confident, right? Become a better individual. So that is my goal, and that is what I do.
All right, love it, love it, love it. All right, so let's dive in. I know you got some questions. You wrote some things down ahead of time. So yeah, let's get into it. What you got? What kind of questions you got?
All right, so my first question is, what top three things would you recommend somebody to have if they're starting their business? Like, what's the top three things you would say, like, don't even start a business unless you have these top three things right
Yeah, great question. So, don't even start a business. So, I mean, again, this is the Coach Blueprint Show, so I'm gonna speak from a coaching perspective, right? Number one, have you want to have you want to have an idea of who you want to speak to, right? Like you want to kind of know your niche, because here's the thing: if you're gonna give advice to somebody, you should have you should have some knowledge or expertise, right? Because people spending their hard-earned money with us. You know what I mean? So like, if I'm gonna help, if I'm saying, hey, you know what, I want to coach and I want to help people. Now, that don't mean you're gonna know right off the bat, but I'm not gonna ask you to charge anything until we get this clear, right? And this is something we help people with, you know. But it's gonna be one, have an idea of what do you want to coach or teach people on, right? What is your expertise in? What is your background in? I'm not gonna go into teaching people, you know, being a ski coach. I don't even know how to ski. I've never skied a day in my life. You know what I mean? So like, I wouldn't go into something that I heard about or that I just read. Like I want you want to have expertise or knowledge in a particular area. So that's number one. Number two, you have to have a real heart to want to help people. You got to have the heart to help. Like we in the people business, and people are not slow, right? Some of them are, no, but you know what I mean. But people understand, right? Like they could kind of feel like, is this like just a transaction, or do you really care about me? Right? Do you, you know, are you just trying to get your bills paid, or do you really care about helping me get to the next level, coaching me, helping me achieve my goals, being me accountable, giving me the support, giving me the strategies? So we had this issue with during COVID. Actually, I had a I remember people was coming up to me during COVID, and this was like, you know, this was like really the time that coaching like really was taking off. Like beforehand, it was coaching because I was doing it years beforehand, right? But it wasn't until, you know, I remember when that happened and people were losing jobs and all of these different things. A lot of people were coming into the coaching industry, right? So And they were like, yo, I'm seeing this coaching thing. It's going crazy. Like, yo, show me how to do it. Show me how to do it, yo. And I remember I met with a guy one time. He was like, yo, T, man, yo, I'm seeing this coaching thing going crazy. People coaching, speaking, doing their thing. Man, yo, I'm just trying to make a couple extra dollars, man, to be real. Like, I know this is hot out here. Like, teach me what I need to do so I can make a couple bucks, man, because it's hard out here. And I said, I appreciate you. I said, no, no, this is a great business to get into, and you can help a lot of people. But I said, unfortunately, I'm not going to be the best person to coach. I'm not, and I'm not going to recommend that you come in the program. I was like, wow, man, I really want to get in this. Like, I'm ready to pay, man. If it's the money, I got you. I can pay. He was trying to get in. And I said, no, it's not the money. I said, the challenge is we're in a people business, and the way that we do business is that it's not, we not just to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just because we need to get in and make a couple extra dollars and be out. You're not going to get a bunch of people using strategies, and then once you got your money high and dry, you on to the next thing, and then the people they left empty-handed. I said, we're not like that. We in this because we really want to do it. We not just in it just to be in today, going tomorrow. You know that I talk a lot about be here a year from now, be here 10 years from now, right? If this was just a this was a hustle for me, I was just trying to make money, I wouldn't be in this 9 years. You don't do hustles for 9 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you in it to kind of make a couple quick dollars and then you on to the next thing. So you got to have the you really got to have the heart and the passion to want to help people. You're gonna have to have patience. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have to be willing to support and help people. You're gonna have to be willing to show up with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you really got to care for people in that standpoint. Um, and then also you got to be willing. You got to be willing to. It's a good word for me to use. Um, I don't know if sacrifice might be the good word, although you do need to sacrifice. But you got to be willing. You got to be willing to do the hard work. Everything is not going to be sexy every moment, and unfortunately, that's what a lot of people on social media have got people believing. Right? They got them believing that everything is going to be easy and simple. And I get it from a marketing perspective, right? But the thing is that, I mean, it ain't always going to be easy. You got to be willing. You got to be willing to put in the work. Like, you got to be willing to be frustrated. You got to be willing to not know the technology. You got to be willing to, to learn the skill. When you start something, you're not going to have the skills. So, which means you got to learn the skills. If you don't know marketing or sales, you're not going to learn it day one. It's going to take you years and years. Like, me being able to speak on my topics, me being able to market well or do paid advertising, or being able to speak or coach, these are all skills that I had to learn, and I'm still learning a ton of skills as we continue to scale, right? So if you getting in and you not really wanting to do work, like I remember I met with a lady probably like last year, and she was like, um she said, yeah, I want to do it. She said, but teach me the way to do this where I don't really have to do any work. I said, say that again. She said, yeah. She said, no, I want to help people, but she said, to be honest, like, I don't really want to do much. Like, I'm even working at my job right now, and I ain't really trying to work there. Like, so, like, how can I build this and not really have to do any work? And I said, this is not going to be the business for you. You might want to not start any business, because there's no business that is just going to be that easy where you're not going to have to do any work. Or if it's not, you ain't doing any work, you better be willing to wait 50 years. Like, if you want to invest in something, you better be willing to wait, right? So it's like, so you gotta come into this with the right expectations. Be wanting to help people, have the heart to help, have some kind of experience or expertise, because I don't, people spending any money with you, like have integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, just understand that it's not always going to be easy. There's certain things that's easier than others, but it could be a challenge sometimes, right? Mentally being productive, all of the other challenges, and most of the challenges come with a lack of skill set. That's where your challenges come from. A lack of skill set. So I had a lack of skill set. Confidence is a skill. So because I didn't have confidence early on when I started, I struggled because I didn't have that skill set yet. I was afraid to make the call. I was afraid to reach out to the person. Productivity is a skill set. Anything that you can learn is a skill set. So, I didn't have the skill of productivity when I started. So because of that, I had to take the, I struggled. I couldn't. It was hard to focus. I would get to the end of the day like, oh, I forgot to work on my business today. Oh my God, I wish you would. I wish you would talk to Elon Musk and see if he ever forgot a day to work on his business, right? Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like there's just certain skill sets. So hopefully that gives you that answer.
Oh yeah, that's great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Love it. I love it.
So now, my next question is, they say that most of your business come from repeat customers, not from, you know, different customers. So my question would be to you, how do you suggest how do you keep a customer? So in business, because to me that's very important. So when you have any product, what suggestions do you have on keeping the same customer? Because like I said, I learned in business, most of your money from repeat customers, not from new customers.
Yeah, great question. Right. So repeat customers, right? So this is a retention question, right? So every business
Yeah.
has their own strategy on how to retain customers, but I'm gonna give you some general ones, especially in our business, right? So coaching and speaking, let's talk about that, right? So if you want to retain clients, one, you want to make sure that you're actually getting them results. Results doesn't always mean the ultimate result, but they should be getting closer to their goal. At the end of the day, nobody's going to be crazy enough that if they're not making any progress to keep paying you. That's just the business that we're in, right? People, they got to be making some type of progress. You want to that's one of the reasons why you don't just want to throw something together. Like you really want to have a plan on what they need to do in order to help them reach their goal, because better believe we have an advertising agency, right? If people were not getting leads, it would be hard for us to build the business, right? If the first month somebody came in, or first 1, 2 months somebody came in and they left, right? It would be hard, right? If I'm coaching somebody the first 2 months, then they leave, right? 1, 2 months. So it's hard to build the business because you always have to, you're always going to be growing and getting new clients. But, if you got more people leaving through the back door and then even coming through the front door because you don't know how to do that retaining. So, but people are going to be more willing to stay when they're getting results. So that's one, help making sure people are getting results. Two, focus on really the um the relationship, because you want to have a good relationship with your clients. You know what I mean? Like focus. Also, one of the things I get from a lot of folks we work with is, man, I could tell that you really care. I hear that a lot. I just heard it like yesterday, right? And it's one of the things that I pride myself on because I really do. You know what I mean? And because I really care about people, I want to see people win. I want to see, because at the end of the day, if I'm doing my job right, I'm making the world a better place, because there's only but so much reach that I can have. But if I got hundreds of clients that I've helped, and they're because we've been able to teach them some amazing strategies, and they're able to get their reach, then I'm achieving my mission. But the reason folks are willing to stay is because I truly care. I make the time. We support. We come up with the resources, right? I'll text you. I'll check on you, right? It's like these are just little things that people really appreciate, and that keeps them in the game longer. You know what I mean? So you want to definitely be doing that. Another way to retain clients is making sure that they staying connected. They staying connected. Like, sometimes, we all go through things in life, but sometimes it's easy when you're going through things to kind of step into the background. Did you ever see that meme with Homer Simpson and he's like stepping into the bushes? You ever see
Yes,
that?
that's one of my favorite ones.
Right, right, right. So it's easy to step into the bushes when you're going through something personally, right? It's like, yo, you know what? Oh my God, I'm going through this thing. So the natural tendency is to be less connected. Now, if you're less connected, how much more are you increasing your chances or decreasing your chances of success?
Mm.
You're decreasing it, right? If I wanted to become a better basketball player and I'm working with Michael Jordan, for example, and I stop working with him, am I gonna get become a better basketball player or a worse basketball player, right?
Worse.
I'm not gonna be as good. My defense is not gonna be as fast because I'm not working with somebody who spent their whole life playing basketball. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Somebody who knows all the shortcuts. They spent tens of thousands of hours doing this. So they obviously have some level of expertise that I can learn from, right? You know, if you know, I heard a quote that said, "If you want to stay hot, stand next to the heat." Sound,
Right.
you feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So stay next to the person who got the skill set and the knowledge that can help you. So because we know that as coaches, you got to constantly be helping and encouraging your people and your clients to stay close to you. You got to constantly help them and encourage them to stay active, stay watching the courses, stay joining the weekly calls or the weekly trainings. Encourage them to go through and read certain things that they need to read or fill out certain worksheets that they need to fill out. Like keep them active, keep them engaged, keep their head in the game because that is what's going to help them go to the next level, right? So we got a member of the program recently, and I was talking to her, and she was like, yo, coach, like I really don't want to have to get a job, right? She was like, yo, I'm gonna have to go to work. She's like, yo, but I don't want to have to go back and get another job. I said, well, if I said, well, one of the challenges I tell you is that you kind of been stepping in the background a little bit, and I just kept it real with her. I'm like, yo, you kind of been stepping in the background a little bit, like you kind of been missing some meetings, and it's going to happen with every coach. Like you're not going to have 100% of your people that's going to do 100% of everything you recommend. Get that out of your head if you think that's going to happen. Every every and I'll draw this out. Every coaching business, this is a tangent, but just remember the last thing I said. Every coaching business has what you call a bell curve. I haven't taught this often, but we're teaching it today, right? So, um, and then so this is a bell curve, right? A bell curve essentially means that you have people who majority of the people that you work with are going to get average results. That's what this is. They're going to get average results, right? Majority of the people. They're not going to get the best results, but they'll get average. You'll have a small percentage of people who are going to get the best results. That's the people, in our program, we got folks that are making, 10, 20, $30,000 a month, right? Some of our best testimonials. But then you're going to have people that are going to get little to no results or low results. You're always going to have people that are like that, right? Every program, everybody. I don't care who you talk to. You can talk to ET, talk to Tony Robbins. I don't care who you talk to. There's always going to be people that are not getting good results. That's just the nature of business. But the thing is, if you want anybody to get good results, the more that they follow your strategies, the more that they're consistent with following your strategies, and the more that they pay attention to the details of what you say, because every business or every success in anything, it's the nuances, the details is what really separates good from great, right? Now, how do they get that though? They get it by showing up. They get it by meeting with you more often, not less. Meet with you more often. How can I get on more calls with you? Right? Not consuming the content and trainings you recommend, consuming it more, watching it even more. I got one training that I've watched 17 times. Not one, not seven, 17 times. Because every time I go through it, I'm like, I'm still not doing that. I'm still not doing that, right? They might have recommended 20 things to do. I'm still on like 11, 13. I got to watch it again. What am I moving on to the next thing for? And I'm still not doing the fundamentals of what needs to be done, right? So you got to get them more connected. So that's what I told her, right? I was like, okay, well, if you really don't want to have to go back to work, I need you to show up even more. I need you to text me when if you're having challenges or if you're having issues, like I need you to be more connected. You've been missing calls. I need you to jump on these weekly calls. We got to get back. You got to get back to meeting with me on a consistent basis. I need you to go through the course, and I need you to be able to go through every single video and every single module and say and check it off. Look at it like a checklist. Check, done that. Check, done that. If you can't go through the whole course and check it off and say you done it, you got work to do. What are we talking about? Right? So these are the things that, and I do, and I share this with passion out of love, like, right? So, but these are the things that, if you really want to transform and change lives, you got to be willing to tell people to show up. You got to be willing to hold them accountable in a loving way. You got to be able to, if you want them to stay with you longer, help them get results. You know what I mean? And then overall, really care, and that's the reason, why I can have this kind of connection and I can hold our folks accountable, because they know it's to be clinical, not critical.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there it is.
I appreciate that. Okay, I like that.
It is, this is just almost a decade in this game, staying in the same lane. You just learn a lot. You get a chance to take away a lot of things. So my goal is really just to help more people get on a faster track. You know what I mean? So you can help people, and you can do this even faster and better than I've done it. Right? It took me since the day that I decided that I wanted to do coaching. It took me about 5 years to go full time. I started in 2015 and I didn't go full time until 2020. Right? If you follow these strategies, maybe you could leave your job in the next year or in the next 2 years. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do, so it's like what pushes me and continues to motivate me to continue just to help people and change lives is I know you can do it. I know you can do it. It's just about locking in. I did a post the other day on my Facebook and I wrote, there's 2 stages of every entrepreneur's career. The day, or I said, 2 stages. I said the day that they start and the day that they take it serious.
Mm.
As any successful entrepreneur I guarantee the day that they started was not the day that they took it serious. Guarantee it. And guess what? When I did that post, I had people like, yes, he is right. It took me 10 years to take this thing serious. He is right. Right? For me, it took me about 3 years. From the time that I took it serious, it still took me an additional 2 years to go full time. So it took me 3 years to even show up consistently, not spend a little bit of the money that I get from my business, not splurge it. I remember one time I started selling books. This was like my first book when I had the fastest way to win in college. And I remember I got my first couple $100 and I'm like, oh, I made some money. We going to the bar. Everybody to the bar. Right? Right? And then, I promise you, Queen, I was like, we was turned up in the bar. And I'm buying everybody shots. Everybody at the bar, shots. Bartender, give everybody shots. I was going hard, right? Now, mind you, this is money I'm supposed to be reinvested back into my business. But but I was just so excited to make a couple $100 that I was just turned up, right? So it's like this. So I'm not playing no games, right? So that's what so it's like being able to take it serious, right? What's take it serious mean? Work on a business every day. What's take it serious mean? Sometimes you're gonna have to sacrifice certain leisure things that you do. I used to be able to watch. My favorite sports is basketball, boxing, and football, right? And so those are like the ones that I like the most. I don't know when's the last time I watched a full-blown game on any one of them or a match on one of them. Right, besides like the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? I watch certain things like that, right? Or if it's like a big fight or something like that, or if it's the championships. But I haven't even spent the time watching a full game, right? And part of it is because I got a purpose, and I'm looking back, and I want to spend as much time on my purpose and on my mission as possible, right? So that was one of the things that I was willing to trade for. I said I got to trade here, right? I got, and mind you, this was especially during the time where I was trying to find more hours in my day to work on my business. We don't got time. I'm busy. I got this. I got that going on. I got this. But a lot of time, but we have time to work on it. But we've never really evaluated the things that we're spending time on, talking on calls for too long, right, with people, right, that may not even be providing any value. Spending hours and hours doing things, playing video games. I used to play games a lot more. You know how often I play the game? I play the game. I play. First of all, I don't even have a PS5, right? I still got a PS4, so I'm not. I don't even have the updated PS5. And then when I still do play, the last time I played was like Christmas. I play about once a year, pretty much like on Christmas. That's the only time
Right.
I ever play, right?
Right. Get a new game or something. It's like, no, I'm
Right,
just
right, right,
playing.
right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like if I get a new game, but I don't know when's the last time I even bought new games. So it's like,
Right.
so like that's the thing. And look, and by the way, we all need an outlet and a hobby and all of that, and I get all of that, but like for my Netflix, my Netflix expired like 2 months ago. I didn't even renew it because I don't watch TV like that. So like that's the thing, right? So it's like you have to be willing to make trades, especially like what especially if it's something that you really want to do. You know what I mean? So just things that I've learned, when you start taking it serious, your business and your life go to a whole nother level.
Right. Thank you for that, Coach T. I see you. Okay, thank you. I needed that. So now,
Let's go. Let's go. I love it. I love it. Is there anything else? Any other questions, comments, or anything you got before we wrap up?
yeah, I got one more question.
Go for it.
Just
What we
one
got?
more question. So, what advice would you give to people to keep going even when they don't want to? Because everybody goes through this phase. So, what advice would you say to just be like Nike and just do it?
Yeah, I love it. Keep going. You have to find what thing that's going to continue to push you forward and motivate you. There's two things that motivates us. What we want and what we want to move away from. What we want to move towards and what we want to move away from, right? And and different people are motivated by different things, but you know, you really got to find a thing that's going to push you. You know what I mean? It's like and have that continue to motivate you. Um, it was Today it's easier for me to be motivated to do this because I've conditioned myself to do this, right? It's like an athlete. It's easier if you're running up and down. I used to play basketball for my high school team, right? And I remember even just going through practice, like it gets tiring running up and down the court, right? You got to do drills, you got to do what they call the suicides, right? You run to that court, you run back, you
Right.
run to the free throw line, you run back. Right? It's a lot of running, it's a lot of drills, but it's conditioning you though, right? And that conditioning, if you don't condition yourself and you just go out there and try to run in a game, what's gonna happen is you're gonna get tired and you're gonna stop most likely. Or you might walk off the court. If you don't condition yourself, then so you might say, well, you're not motivated to run. Well, it ain't really that you're not motivated to run. It's just that you haven't conditioned yourself to keep up with the pace of the game.
Right.
So part of it initially is, yourself the motivation and getting yourself to getting yourself motivated to continue to do it. But it's like you got to have faith. So whatever you believe in, whatever your faith is, you got to continue to tap into your faith. I continue to pray. I know it's going to work out. It is thinking about other people other than yourself. If you'll give up on yourself all day, but you won't give up on your daughter,
Right.
right? You won't give up on other people that you truly love and care about, right? So that's a part of it, right? Finding out, tapping into that other people who you're gonna let down if you don't do this. Who you letting down?
Right.
Who's gonna be disappointed? Another way to stay in the game is to stay accountable, stay active, right? Like if you are really trying to work out consistently, it's easy to say I'm not working out today. Very easy. But if you have a trainer that's waiting outside for you, how likely are you to go outside and if they come to pick you up to get in the car to go to the gym or whatever, right? You're waiting for me outside.
Right.
Let me go. Waiting for me at the gym. Let me go. Right? You don't want to leave nobody hanging. So part of it, why? So why though? What's the difference? Well, the difference is that you have somebody that's holding you accountable, and now you're thinking about how you're going to make that person feel, or you're thinking about, oh, you know what? I have somebody that's in it, and they're showing up, so you want to show up. So that's why I say staying connected. Continuing to show up even more, continuing to give even more, continuing to connect with more people. Um, and then over time, what's going to happen? The more you do it, you're conditioning yourself, and then you're going to notice I'm more productive than I was 3 months ago. Oh wow, I'm actually working more hours, but I'm not tired as much as I used to be. I work, I'm full time. I work like 12 to 14 hours every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now we probably just hitting, like I got a little morning routine or whatever, but I'm up pretty much 8 a.m. in the morning working until probably, you know, 10 at night, depending on if I'm working on something even later. That would tire me out initially, right? But I'm good. Like me even doing trainings like this is not work to me. I don't feel like this is work. Like I'm enjoying. I'm having fun. This is what I learned. You know what I'm saying? I learned. I spent a decade learning this stuff. You know what I mean? So I get more energy throughout the day, right? I'm natural. I still get tired like other people, but when it comes to training and giving and serving, it's like I can go. So that's part of it. And then another part of it is taking care of yourself, right? Because you can't ignore the physical aspect of it, right? If you're just because you stayed up too late for the last 2, 3 days, you're obviously going to be tired, so you're not going to be as productive or as motivated. That's obvious, right? If you're not taking care of what you're putting in your body, that's obvious that that's going to impact you. I had a stiff neck a couple weeks ago. I was looking around like this, right? Like, oh my God, I can't even look down. I woke up out of the bed. I tried to look down. My whole neck was done. Right? I couldn't look anywhere. Well, guess what? That impacted my productivity of the day. Right? I couldn't do as much. I was hard for me to sit in the chair for X amount of time. Right? I had to reschedule a couple calls, a couple things that I just had to do because I had to get right. Make sure I'm good and I can do the things that I normally do. So, does that help?
Yeah, that definitely did. Thank you. I appreciate it. And that's all the questions I had. That's
Let's
all the questions
go.
I
Well, let's give it
had.
up for you and asking some great hits. Woo! Hey, hey. Let me change my whole. All right. Well, one, I appreciate you for being here. Let me just change my camera real quick. So, one, I appreciate you for being here, Queen A, and being a guest on today's Coach Blueprint Show. So thank you for being here. And so the folks can know, keep up with your journey, keep up with your coaching. Again, let folks know what you do and where they can find you, so they can keep up with your journey or potentially even work with you if they need you. Where can they find you at online?
Hey. So y'all can find me across all the platforms at Queen A Speaks, except for Facebook, it's Ariel St. Clair. So, and also don't forget I'm a life coach that focuses on personal development. So if you need help with building confidence, overcoming fear, or you just want to become a better individual, make sure y'all reach out to me.
Woo! Thank you, Queen A, for being here. All right, and thank you everyone for joining into this week's Coach Blueprint Show. Again, if you want to be a guest on this show, then one, we help coaches, so we want you to be a coach. Number two, just reach out to me directly. You can shoot me a DM or you can shoot me an email at info@productiveacademy.com. And then we'll get you on the list to also get coached as well. All right. Thank you again, Queen A. And take care, everybody. Enjoy.